Bail money's kind of important. It's really, really important. When you don't have to pay any bail money and they just turn you free, you generally go back and commit more crimes. We see this all over the country, which means things are about to get a little spicy in Illinois. So joining me now, Catalina Lauf. Hopefully she's safe and sound in Illinois. She is the CEO, founder of the Defense of Freedom PAC, obviously former nominee for Congress. Catalina, no more cash bail. How's that going to work out for you guys over there?
This is absolutely ridiculous, Jesse. We're the first state in the nation to implement this, meaning no other state has ever done this before. So good luck to Illinois and all of the continued increase in crime that's been happening. I mean, think about this. Just in the city of Chicago, when you had poor leadership like Mayor Lori Lightfoot, where homicides, crime rates, carjackings, theft, everything went up significantly. Now you're looking at legislation across the state now that is going to impact not only to allow criminals to continue to walk free, but also make it harder for policemen to do their job. One thing that the Safety Act that's not talked about is the legislation that is surrounding how bad it is against law enforcement as well. So this is a complete disaster. Obviously, Republicans were in a super minority at the state house, so there was never a chance that our voice would have been heard from a state perspective. But ultimately, it was the judges that deemed it constitutional just this last year, and it was implemented on Monday. And just to give you an example of how well it's going, there was a woman who pepper sprayed 4 police officers over the weekend. 2 of them are in the hospital. She's the first person to now walk free now due to the new cashless bail legislation.
She sounds like quite a peach. I'm sure she's going to make a young man very happy one day. Okay, so Catalina, in areas where this is happening across the country, it tends to blow up the more upper income people, meaning they're going to flee Chicago out to the burbs, and then Chicago's just left to the criminals. Are we starting to see things like that?
Chicago is not the same that it was 5 years ago. A lot of it had to do with the beginning of the BLM riots. We had Kim Foxx was the state's attorney that was allowing people who completely destroyed the city walk free. And ultimately, it's just not the same beautiful city anymore. You have businesses fleeing, you have people fleeing the state. CEOs have written letters to the legislatures and the mayor to try to change things. Crime has just skyrocketed through the roof. And, all that's left is crime. It was so sad to hear just yesterday, a carjacking happened where a guy was held at gunpoint. They stole his car, and no one knows where any of these people are. I mean, this is just rampant, even in the nicest neighborhoods. And you would think that the people who live there, who can afford to live there in these nice areas, would speak out more. But so far, they continue to vote in these people who are making these laws and destroying the city. So ultimately, what gives? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay, I did hear that they're going to begin opening or want to open city-owned grocery stores. Please lay out for me exactly how they see this one going there.
What's going on right now is that because of the crime, a lot of these private-owned grocery stores are seeing rampant theft. They're losing, obviously, revenue in these key areas, a lot of low-income areas, again, who are not protected because of the fact that we have such a shortage now also in our law enforcement community. You have police officer retirements through the roof. So how are they able to put resources in these neighborhoods? Now you have these private-owned grocery stores being looted and destroyed. So now the only option is for the government to come in and put in grocery stores. That is how bad this city's crime rate has gone up, is that government needs to put in grocery stores because people can't have access to food because of the crime. Tell me how that's even. We should be fixing the crime to allow more economic opportunity, creating safer communities in these low-income areas, not just having the government bail out, which we know the same thing is going to happen. When you have a government-run grocery store, everyone's going to want to go and get things for free, and then the crime is still going to be there.
Well, finally on the city of Chicago, they're not handling the whole illegal immigrant thing all that well. Here was a little city meeting.
I don't want them there. Take them someplace else or send them back to Venezuela. I don't care where they go. This is wrong. You got 73% of the people homeless in this city are black people. What have you done for them?
Catalina, that is the area where they voted in Brandon Johnson. All these areas where they voted in Brandon Johnson, they're mad about illegal immigration. Are these people putting two and two together?
People are waking up every day because ultimately, they're seeing the reality of what happens when you don't prioritize the people, not only in the city of Chicago, but Americans as a whole. You're seeing this in cities across the country. And ultimately, it takes a few people to finally be so fed up with the policies that poor leadership has been implementing in these cities. They're obviously not prioritizing anybody in their own cities. When you have situations like this, I'm so proud that somebody is speaking out finally, because the fact that people have been silent for so long and have continued to allow these mayors and the politicians continue on this road. Again, what does it take? A city to be destroyed to have people finally wake up? I feel like it's getting there, but it's not happening quick enough. And unfortunately, you're seeing, again, crime increasing. Unfortunately, a lot of deaths that are increasing in the city, petty crime, you name it. And at some point, the greatest city in, I thought, the world is just completely destroyed because of poor policies.
That's sad. It is sad. All right. Catalina, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.